Hello guys, and welcome back to the series on when I teach chess. This is the third episode, and today I'm going to be covering how the bishops move. So the bishops are basically like the snipers in the army. They cover long distances on the diagonal lines, but as mentioned last week, when there's pawns blocking it can't actually go anywhere. So an example of what people sometimes do with bishops in order to get them active is to play it, move like b3, bringing the pawn up one square, so the bishop can go to this diagonal to reach all the way along this diagonal and pose a threat to this rook, potentially. So the bishop's actually quite good at attacking in a late game position when there's open space for the bishops to move. So for example, if white plays here to give out a check, and then one of the responses black can do is move his king forward, and then you can already see after white moves his bishop along this long diagonal here to pose another threat. This bishop covers all these squares, and this bishop covers all these squares, so that now black's running out of space to move to. So at the start of the game, with the knowledge of the previous episodes, at the beginning of the game might look something like this: e4, bringing the pawn to center, and then standard e5. And then white might bring their bishop out to cover along the center, and then black might bring out their knight. Say white plays this. If black tries to provide an attack on the bishop, like so, although this is actually doesn't quite work out. So one of the things to always look out for is how many pieces or stuff is attacking a certain square, and how many pieces are defending. So I initially thought playing this move will be fine because after white takes, I thought by the end of all the trades and exchanges, it would be even. But in this case, it's not even because I'll just show why. So white takes the pawn, black takes the knight. Black takes the pawn with his knight, and then white can take the bishop, and then the only thing left attacking is the queen, but the bishop's defended by the knight, so capturing the bishop is just how you lose your queen. So always make sure, as a rule of thumb, before you try anything cheeky like this, make sure it's sufficiently backed up, otherwise you might be throwing away a pawn or whatever it is. So here's the next custom position I've set up, where the bishops are involved in the game now. So I'm just going to go ahead and try out a move because I'm curious. Just show different ideas. So basically, the reason why I played knight captures, it's not only is it a free pawn, but now I've created space for the bishop to capture this pawn. However, black's decided to also start capturing in response to my capture. So now I've got to consider, is this worthwhile pursuing? So the bishop can capture this pawn here, but so can the knight. And the difference is the knight captures with check. So that gives me extra time after capturing to, because then they have to worry about the king being under attack. And since the knight's defended by the bishop, if the king comes close to trying to attack it, it's not actually doing anything at the moment. So this, in theory, should be winning for white. And now that they've had to spend their turn moving their king, I can capture this pawn. And then, so what black's done here is they brought their knight out to block the defense, so that now this knight's no longer defended and it's threatened to be captured by the king. So I can either just capture the knight to force black to do something, I recapture this pawn here, or I can just move the knight out and retreat back to safety, which makes more sense to retreat back to safety, I think. Oh, but the entrance says capturing the knight makes more sense. Interesting. And I guess an example of why that's correct is because now this pawn is defended by the knight that I could have captured. So after this pawn trade, if the knight was captured, then basically the bishop can capture this pawn because it's undefended without this knight. So now in theory, I can capture the knight, and then he's going to capture the bishop, and then yeah, this knight's defending that pawn, so it's looking like a drawn position that's shown on the engine, I guess. But anyway, there's my attempt. I think it's no longer possible to win for white here. But I invite you to try out this position for yourself. And I'll see you in the next episode where I'll be covering how the queen can be brought into the game.